Everyone loves a Nintendo Switch eShop sale, especially our little ginger friend here. No soul having son of a, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's a nice individual. But right now there's a huge sale going on in the Nintendo Switch eShop, the multiplayer sale. Tons of games are on sale. We're actually going to talk about 15 games today, including 5 games that are $5 or less. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to hear about those games. But with the amount of games we have, let's just jump right into it. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition are on sale, each for $41.99. So technically I lumped these two games together, so really you're getting 16 games. It's always a surprise with RGT, but I really enjoyed both of these games. I would say if you could only pick one though, and you don't have any of them, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is probably the game I would skip. I would get Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition if you can only afford one, because that game is just freaking amazing. I love how it takes from all the Zelda games and puts them into one game. Like Age of Calamity had a better storyline because it was canon to Breath of the Wild, but for me personally, I had way more fun with Definitive Edition. The game runs at 60 frames per second, Definitive Edition that is, because Age of Calamity sure as hell doesn't, and it's just a great experience. So if you can only pick up one of these games, I recommend Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition at $41.99. If you already have it and you've been waiting on Age of Calamity, sure, check it out at $41.99. Monster Hunter Rise is on sale for $30.59. Arguably my favorite, or one of my favorite games of 2021. Just a fantastic freaking experience, man. Having the RE engine on the Nintendo Switch really is a big deal because it just runs so damn good, and it makes games that you're kind of like, wow, you know, this is what I would expect from Nintendo themselves as far as visual quality is concerned. Capcom absolutely knocked it out of the park with this game. Of course, the new DLC has come out this summer as well. So Monster Hunter Rise at $30.59. If you haven't picked it up yet, now is the time to definitely do that. If you're looking for a graphical showcase for your Nintendo Switch OLED model, Tetris Effect Connected has come out at $23.99. And I mean, it's Tetris. It's fancy Tetris. There's a lot of things going on. Multiplayer Tetris, lots of bright lights Tetris, and really at the end of the day, it's still Tetris, but it's a fantastic game. A fantastic version on the Nintendo Switch. You could enjoy it on any system that you have in the Nintendo Switch family, but if you play a lot in portable mode, this game just really pops when you're playing in portable mode on the Nintendo Switch OLED. This game is $23.99, and I highly recommend it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered is available for $20. Yes, $20 on the button, not $19.99. And I mean, this is Tony Hawk. This is Tony Hawk games that we grew up playing. If you're an old man like me, these games were love. These games were life. And they're still fantastic games. They're super fun. Now, while I might enjoy the more simulation style skateboarding game nowadays, I still think Tony Hawk has a place in video gaming history. And Tony Hawk 1 and 2 were just memorable experiences. Just so much fun. So many memories playing those games. And having these games on the Switch with very competent versions of them is very important. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 Remastered, $20. World War Z is available for $19.99 on the Switch, and I still don't know why a lot of critics kind of poo-pooed on this version of the game, because I thought it was really good. I played the game on my Xbox One when it first came out. I played it on my Nintendo Switch, and I thought it was a very competent version of the game. There's not many games like this on the Switch that have a big online multiplayer component where you're going through waves of different enemies, and the games that you do have of those quality, you know, they're really not of that highest of quality. So I think World War Z is a super fun game. Is it better on other platforms? I mean, yeah, but you could pretty much say that about any third-party game that's going to be on this list. It's still fun. It's still very pretty to look at, and I just had a lot of fun with this game. World War Z on the Switch, $19.99. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is available for $19.79. Shakedown 1979. And, you know, I mean, it's Ghosts and Goblins with some new paint on it, some new difficulty options. Really solid version of the game. You know, if you're a fan of the original game, you probably already own it. Let's be realistic here. I think the Ghosts and Goblins community is a very tight-knit community. I don't know, I could just be making that up, though. But I think Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is definitely a game worth checking out if you're a retro game fan, especially at the $19.79 price point. You know, it's kind of a shame that this game hasn't gotten a physical and probably won't, so you might as well pick it up on the eShop. If you're a fan of racing simulations, There's really not much to choose from on the Nintendo Switch, but thankfully, the best racing simulation game, Grid Autosport, is currently on sale for $17.49. And the fact that more people haven't played this game kind of bothers me because they did put so much work into this game. It's amazing. There's different graphical options so you could play at a lower fidelity at 60 frames per second or a higher fidelity at 30 frames per second. They've added in online multiplayer. There's a whole bunch of different racing disciplines. Like, seriously, this is the one game on the Nintendo Switch that's a realistic racing simulation game instead of arcade style. I understand that there's a lot of people that prefer arcade style racing games, and that's cool, but I like a variety. I like more than just one style of racing game. So Grid Autosport at $17.49, a fantastic port of the game, so much content in there, so many fun types of racing to do in this game. I highly recommend checking it out. You could buy a physical copy of Doom Eternal from Limited Run Games for a lot of money right now, or you could pick up the Nintendo Switch eShop version of the game, because Doom Eternal is on sale for $14.99, which is actually the lowest it has ever been. And I mean, it's Doom. Like, it's a solid version of Doom Eternal, I feel. You know, obviously, you don't have all the graphical bells and whistles on the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation versions of these games, but I still think Doom Eternal on the Switch is a super fun game. Really good soundtrack. I actually like the environments a lot in this game. You have some sort of, like, more realistic style environments instead of just being in, like, the pit of hell or in a spaceship or something like that. So I thought that was really good. I'm not a huge fan of the online multiplayer component of this game. I prefer the original Doom, but I still think Doom Eternal is a fantastic single player experience. And at $14.99, this is the cheapest it's ever been, so you might as well jump on the bandwagon. Streets of Rage 4 is $12.49, and until Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge came along, many people thought that Streets of Rage 4 was the better game. There are still people that think Streets of Rage 4 is the better game because, well, you know, there is a lot of stuff to do in it. There is the online stuff. There's tons of unlockable costumes. The gameplay is really refined and pretty expansive. You know, it probably is a better game overall than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, but TMNT just hits with the nostalgia notes, and Streets of Rage, unless you were a die-hard Sega Genesis kid, which I was, but I never really played Streets of Rage all that much growing up, it didn't really hit the same notes with me. You know, I do love this game. I think it's fantastic. Arguably the second best beat-em-up game on the Nintendo Switch. Some people would put it first, and that's okay. I can agree with you. Streets of Rage 4, $12.49. Do not sleep on it. You need some more beat-em-up action in your life, you bastard? Capcom beat-em-up bundle is on sale for $9.99, and it's a bunch of old Capcom beat-em-up games. What more do you really need to know from this? Like, Capcom was on their shit back in the day. You know, they had that lull in the early 2000s and stuff like that. But this was before the lull. This was when Capcom was at their prominence. You got a whole bunch of different games here with a whole bunch of different options, whole bunch of graphical filters, all that sort of stuff that you get in these Capcom collections that are spanning across multiple games. Capcom Beat 'em Up Collection, you know, if you're a fan of beat 'em up games, you already have Streets of Rage 4, you already beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge a million times, go ahead and pick this up. You'll get a good bang for your buck. All right, cheap asses, you made it to the $5 or less section of the video. We're starting things off with a controversial pick, Double Dragon 4 at $3.50. There's a lot of people who don't like this game, and to them I say, hey, that's cool, that's your opinion, but I disagree. I think Double Dragon 4 is freaking cool. Yeah, it's not really an expansion on the Double Dragon franchise. It's pretty much like Double Dragon 4 would have been if Double Dragon 4 was an NES game, but I don't care because I love the NES Double Dragon games, except for 3. God, that can burn in a fire. But I had a lot of fun with this game. I bought the game physically because I'm such a big fan. I played it on multiple consoles. They got rid of the screen tearing, which was prominent in the Xbox version of the game, or PlayStation version, whenever I played originally. I don't remember. I think it was PlayStation. But, you know, if you're a fan of old school Double Dragon, it's a fun game. You know, it's not the greatest game in the world or anything, but it's $3.50. Don't be a cheap ass. You ever wanted to play as a baby shitting all over the place in a weird Splatoon style game? Then Pooplers. Pooplers is on sale for $3.14. Don't buy this game. I've just always wanted to mention Pooplers on this channel before. I've seen it before. You literally play as like a baby and you try to mark your territory kind of like in Splatoon, but instead of paint, you're just pooping. And there's different colors of poop and fluorescent poop, and you know, it's weird, dude. Like, how do you come up with that? Like, what sort of drugs were they doing when they came up with Pooplers? But in case you got a household of drunk people or people on drugs who might want to play something like this, Pooplers is on sale for $3.14. If you're a fan of the Donkey Kong games from back in the day, the side-scrolling country games and stuff like that, Jet Cave Adventure is on sale for $1.99. This is actually the cheapest that it has ever been, and this is a fantastic game. Like, at $1.99, it's stupid cheap. It's a very high-quality game that plays a lot like a Donkey Kong Country game, and I mean, that's not a bad thing, especially when we're talking about some more budget style games here. It's a game that has a really good aesthetic to it as well. Just overall a very impressive game. It's a game that has been out for quite a while, so I kind of understand why it's $1.99 now, but hey, if you haven't picked up Jet Cave Adventure, now is the time to do it. Cyber Protocol is available for $1.99, and honestly, much like Tetris Effect, I think this game is a very good showcase of the Nintendo Switch OLED because of the graphical style that they use. It's sort of like that neon style of graphics that they use in Tetris Effect, but it has sort of like, you know, a neo synth wave sort of thing. I don't know, I lost my train of thought there, but yeah. I think Cyber Protocol is a dope game. It's a puzzle game, kind of like some Pac-Man elements in it as well. You know, if you're not a puzzle game fan, you're not going to like this game. But if you are a puzzle game fan, I think you will enjoy this game. And the graphical style really lends itself to the Nintendo Switch OLED screen. So check it out if you haven't yet. At $1.99, I mean, who cares? Even if you hate the game, you spent $2. Like, that shouldn't break the bank. It's $2. And the final game on our list is American Fugitive at $1.99. It's pretty much like a white trash, top-down, Grand Theft Auto style game from back in the day, but I really enjoyed this game. I thought the story of the game is really cool, kind of, you know, an open world aspect to the game. You're a fugitive, and you're trying to do this, that, and the other. You know, there's murders and stuff like that. I'm not going to ruin the story for you, because then why would you want to play the game? But I think this game is actually very fun. I picked this game up for like full price back in the day at 20 bucks. I had a good time with it. So at $1.99, it's kind of like, buy it. Like, if you're a fan of the old school GTA style games, the top-down style ones, then you'll have fun with this game, especially if you like white trash stories, because, I mean, who doesn't like white trash stories? Alrighty, so that's going to do it for our video. Ginger Kid, you got anything to say? You got anything you want to add to this conversation? You want to tell us about your soul? I'd like to hear about your soul. Let me know in the comment section down below what games you plan on picking up. Of course, there are tons of other games, as you can see here. Clubhouse Games is on sale as well. That's an awesome game. Tons of games are on sale. Give your recommendations in the comment section down below for other people who are, you know, looking for games to play. That's what it's all about. Let other people know what games you are playing. All these games are on sale at the time of the upload of this video, which is on July 30th. If you miss out on any of these, too bad. You should have had your notifications turned on. Always watch the videos when they pop up first. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell so that way you don't miss my videos. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I don't feel like being on camera. I have a pimple. Later.